Hello, fellow ink drinkers, and welcome back to the Blind Girls Book Talk podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who love reading and love books. And so what we've done is we've created this show in order to talk about that. We talk about a wide variety of bookish content, and that can range from bad retellings of stories, book to movie adaptation comparisons, buddy reads, recent reads, bookish challenges. Really, the list does go on and on. And today what we're doing is we're actually going to be talking about some tips on how to move when you have a lot of books. So recently, of course, Belle started law school, and so we moved down to be very close to her law school, obviously. And so what we ended up doing, of course, is we had to pack up our respective libraries and bring them down here because, you know.
And granted, we did not bring all.
No, that's very true. We did not bring all of them. So that's actually kind of, I guess what we should start with is kind of our packing process and how we decided what came, what stayed, that kind of thing. So, do you want to go ahead and start?
I mean, I don't really know where to start.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll start with my place then.
Because we pretty much started there from the beginning.
Yes, very true. So essentially what I did is because, of course, I had to pack up all of my apartment to come down as well. And so pretty much what we started by doing is I picked, of course, the books I really wanted to make sure that I had, books that I really, really wanted to read, different books for kind of like our Bookstagram purposes, that sort of thing. And then after a while, essentially I had a pretty decent stack of books and I still had a lot more. So what we ended up doing to pack them is we actually used like the little bankers boxes, which you can get them at like Staples or any office supply store, not sponsored in any way, but that's where we got a lot of ours. And so we just got the very little ones because we didn't want them to be too heavy that we weren't going to be able to lift them.
Even in the little ones, you'd be surprised how many books you can actually fit into it.
Yes.
And the good thing about bankers boxes compared to like other cardboard boxes is the sides and the kind of bottom is kind of reinforced, like there's 2 layers of cardboard.
Right. So it's actually really, really good for moving books compared to just like a regular cardboard box. It definitely has a lot more stability. Like Belle said, you can get a lot of books in there. A lot more than you would think you could. Because honestly, about 8 boxes or so is what I ended up filling to come down. And then I still had a lot of books that, I didn't really want to take. They weren't quite as important to come down, that kind of thing. So we used some more bankers boxes to put those so that those could go to storage until I'm ready for them. And pretty much, I think there was like a huge pile of books. I was able to fit that in like 6 or so little bankers boxes as well. So they are small, but they are mighty in terms of storage.
Definitely.
So pretty much, I think I had about 8 boxes. And then I think you ended up having about 8 boxes.
Well, okay, mine was a bit different because Aria used all the bankers boxes.
Yeah, so we had to get more.
We had to get more, but then when it came to mine, because I also had to bring the classics out of the 2 of us. So, like, I had my regular books, and then I had, like, the classics. And the classics I tried to make sure went in bankers boxes, and that's what pretty much did happen. I had like 4 boxes or so of regular bankers boxes, but it wasn't anything else other than those 4. But I did have, for Arya's bookshelf situation, she has like wooden crates.
Yeah, I ended up using wooden crates for my shelving.
But that's what a lot of my books came down in.
But anyway, so yeah, we ended up using a lot of my crates because I didn't want those to just not be used, because I knew I wasn't going to get big bookshelves down here. Like, that just wasn't a feasible option. And especially because we might be moving again after our lease is up. It just wasn't a very feasible option to keep moving really, really big bookshelves.
Keep moving just big stuff in general. Yeah, because so the place we're at isn't the place we originally wanted. So we're going to try to get into that place next year.
Yeah, if something becomes available.
If something becomes available, we're going to try for that place. We don't know. If not, we'll be here until I graduate. And then I'm hoping by then I can buy a house.
Yeah. But we shall see. Like, that's kind of way far down the line.
That's way far down the line. And, like, I'm already great at getting life choices with law school, so we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, yeah, but honestly, I guess that's kind of, I know this is really long and rambling, but another, I think, piece of advice is that if you're going to a place where you're kind of not sure if you're going to be there for a very long time, or you're not sure how it's all going to go, try to find a way to do kind of more of a mobile bookshelf, so to say. So like Belle said, I used wooden crates. We got them from like Hobby Lobby. And essentially, we just kind of zip tied them together.
Yeah, she set up the figuration, and then I sat there and zip tied them together.
Yeah, I just kind of created the shelf that I wanted to create. And I really like the way it looks. I think it looks really cool. I'm still working on getting the shelf decor on it. But all of my books are currently on the shelf, which is nice. And the thing about it too is that you can almost use, like, if you want to just have how you want your books on your shelf kind of already packed that way, you legit can just kind of set them up and like, that's it. Or just take out like one box at a time, and set it up, and that's it. But in this case, we had to get Belle's books down here, so she needed to use them. So it actually kind of worked out well for us in that way.
Yeah, it worked out good in that way, because my crates, what I'm using as bookshelves, I am not unpacked in regards to our library/study. It's a mess. I really need to get my life sorted with that. But yeah, no, that hasn't happened, because by the time our apartment opened, I was on my last day of orientation. So like I couldn't even be here for like the actual moving in process of everything.
Yeah, which that was a whole thing. But I will say everybody who helped us move in did appreciate the fact that our book boxes were very light, because they could just stack a whole bunch of those boxes and just bring them up and bring them in. And then I was able to kind of move them at least into the room that we're using as a study.
Yeah. And that's kind of where they were when I got here. But my shelves, I'm saying this loosely, on Amazon, our mother found me little like storage containers almost. They're like double door storage containers, plastic, and they're like collapsible and everything. They're really nice. The big ones, I may be doing something that I despise, and I may have to do double stack.
Yeah, but honestly, you got a lot.
Yeah, I can fit a lot if I double stack into these big bins. I did have to move 3 into my room because of clothes, having to have a professional wardrobe and regular clothes. It's a lot.
It's a time.
It's a lot. And I will also admit, I am one of those weird people who, yes, I have a professional wardrobe for school. Does everybody in my cohort dress up? Nope. I saw a kid on Friday come in pajamas. and I sat beside them in a skirt, a nice shirt, and a blazer. Did I care? No. But to be fair, in regular style, I was always business casual, even in college and most of high school.
Yeah.
I was business casual. But so I stole 3 of the big ones. I tried to take like the 3 little ones, but they were too small. So I took 3 big ones and put the little ones back in the study, which I'll put stuff in. But I haven't gotten that far in my life yet.
Yeah, that's your next goal. That might be next weekend's goal.
Maybe next. Who knows at this point? I am struggling.
Yeah. But anyway, so essentially, though, I kind of picked up my configuration. Belle started to kind of get her configuration together and got enough books picked up that, we can move around in there.
Yeah, that was like the big issue. I mean, I'm still kind of very cramped. We had to take down the bed, so the bed got shoved into the closet. And then we had to take the desk that was in my room and move that to the desk in the study, and we put then a tall stack of four or five of the big bins. They're kind of stacked, hiding the mattress that's hidden in the closet.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's definitely been a process. I know it wasn't until like this week that my books actually went on the shelf.
Yeah, one of the big things that we did first day is we did go and unload the boxes of what was ours, and we stacked it onto the wall.
Yeah, we essentially made a huge book stacks, which if you follow us on our Instagram, I did post a little reel about the books surviving the trip, which I didn't have any doubt that they would, because like I said, Banker's boxes are very, very durable.
The crates we had were very durable.
And we had, everything was enclosed in the
Everything
U-Haul.
Everything was enclosed in the U-Haul. Shout out to our father who expedited the packing of the U-Haul.
Yes.
I don't know if Aria mentioned, our father had surgery.
Yes.
So he can't lift.
Yeah. So he had to
to expedite and just point stuff. And he gave everybody warnings because some family friends came out to help him. Our uncle helped. Some other family friends came out and helped, and the one owns a barn, and so he brought his barn hands down. And when it came to moving the books and stuff, our dad was very, be careful with those. I want to live when I get there.
Yeah. So he definitely gave them warnings, but they easily made the trip. The boxes held up really well. Again, definitely recommend those. And like I said, small ones, because you will fit a lot in there. I also did some research on moving with books and stuff. And some people did mention using suitcases. And see, I don't know that I would.
I don't feel comfortable with that because I feel while you could get more in it, you have more room for things to slip. When you use a Banker's box, everything is square.
Yeah, everything is square. It is made, they're made for documents. They're made to store.
They're made for file folders.
Yeah. So, it's already squared. Books are rectangular and squarish in shape. So.
Sharp angles.
Yeah, sharp angles. So, it works and it makes sense. And, I will say, too, there was one whole box that we had of just cookbooks that we wanted to bring down. So
that Aria wanted to bring down. Yeah, we did have a whole box and a half of cookbooks. Don't know why, since Aria doesn't cook.
For fun. But anyway, so that's definitely kind of tip 1, use smaller Banker's boxes, or if you're going to do kind of a more mobile bookcase like I did, use whatever you're going to store those, whatever that material is, and just pack your books in there directly. 2, again, if you're going to do more mobile bookcases, pick what makes sense to you, what works for you. I really liked the concept of just doing a really kind of asymmetrical different looking shelf that, you know, was just kind of made with, you know, different size wooden crates, different things, and was lucky enough to find exactly what I needed.
Yeah, and another thing I will say is I did travel a lot in college with books. I took more books than Arya did when she went to college.
Yeah.
And I will admit there were times where I believe one semester, and my room was small in my college apartment. It was very small. I had, like, you know, pretty much everything I owned in that room. But somehow I was able to fit over 120 books in that room one semester. Don't know how I did it, but I used, you know, like bags of some sort, like bigger bags with like cloth.
Yeah, to when it was time to move you out and to get you home.
Yeah, even just coming home or bringing
swap
books
out
home.
some bags, books. Yeah, definitely. Like those can work if it's
to my socks.
Sorry, Piper is here in our recording room, and she is being a menace. But anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Definitely, I will suggest if you can start doing a purge of your books early, that would be beneficial. Because I know I also did a pretty decent purge of my book collection when we were packing. And there was probably, it was like 2 boxes, I think, that ended up being able to be donated. So that was a very good declutter for me to just kind of get rid of some that have been sitting there forever that, you know, I'm just not interested in anymore, that kind of thing. I know Belle didn't really get rid of any, but I think most of what was for her was just kind of staying up in her library at home.
Yeah, and also I also did a lot more purges than you throughout the years.
Yeah, this is true. I got to the point where I just needed one. So, any other tips that you can think of?
No.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. I mean, like I said, our moving experience was kind of crazy, but overall it went really well, especially with the sheer amount of books that we had to move. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for this week's episode. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this makes sense. Of course, if you like this episode, if you like what you've been listening to, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would appreciate the support those actions would give. Now, what are we going to be talking about next time?
Bookish Deserted Island Challenge?
Yes, I have a plan for that one.
Okay, good. Because I sure as heck don't know.
So, we'll see you guys next time then.
Bye.
Bye.